What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Pass the Joystick. And on day 2, or let's say stream 2, I guess, we have a lot to talk about. Because what a week it has been for gaming, huh? What a week.
It's been nice.
It's been crazy with all the announcements that happened, everything that went through with what we got. Guerrilla Collective with a bunch of indie games.
Yep.
We got Pokemon announcements, Pokemon Snap. I know you guys are excited, so that's going to be fun. We have EA Play to talk about, which it brought a lot of stuff.
That's pretty good, honestly. Pretty good.
We have a lot of information to bring you. So, let's get to it. But if you guys remember, my name is Pablo, known online on the gaming world as Pablonator, Snap Pablonator, a little bit of everything there. And we play pretty much everything. Introduce you to my co-host here.
My name's Nick, and pretty much the same spectrum, but my gamer tag is a little different, by the hand of Lil Nick 20, and pretty much play anything that pretty much comes across us at this rate. Multiplayer's been kind of like the thing for us.
Yeah,
but it's been good.
That's pretty much it. But what have you? Before we get into it, let's just say what we've been playing. What have you been playing lately?
This week's been Sonic Adventure.
Sonic Adventure,
which is it's very difficult. It was very, very, very difficult to get through, just because of the fact that, of course, it's an old game.
Yeah,
it is what it is.
Of course.
But I'm blessed by games with good camera systems now, because I felt like, honestly, when you're playing that game, the camera's behind you the entire time.
No,
so it's
that
terrible.
camera is horrendous.
It's terrible.
I remember playing Sonic Adventure, and oh my god, that camera can go all over the place.
Oh man,
it was pretty bad.
Yeah, I think honestly, I spent an hour just dying.
Yeah,
just dying.
Yeah, no, that game, I definitely remember the camera angles on that. And Sonic Adventure 2 is actually my favorite game, where they introduced Shadow the Hedgehog and everything. Incredible.
I'm gonna get to that.
Yeah,
very soon.
But for me, I've been playing a little bit of everything. Literally, I've been I went through Resident Evil 5 again, playing Resident Evil 6, finished Leon's campaign. Now we're going through Chris's story. Been playing Sea of Thieves again. Got into that again. So that is another adventure that I got myself into. Been playing Gang Beast. Which is really fun. It was my first time playing it, and I'm having a blast in that game. What else? I've been playing so much that
Switch games?
Yeah, the Switch games. I've been playing South Park: The Stick of Truth on the Switch, because it was on a ridiculous sale. Even though I already got it on the Xbox, I bought it on the Switch. Amazing. Been playing Animal Crossing. Obviously, I gotta take care of my villagers. And Pokemon DLC, because that came out, so we'll talk about that, because there's a lot of Pokemon announcements that came through. But yeah, that it's been a pretty eventful week for gaming.
It's been pretty nice in my opinion. I feel like EA was good.
Yeah,
but like
it could have been better, obviously.
Of course,
because the announcements that we wanted is not what we got.
Yeah, no Mass Effect.
But it is what it is. We'll go with what we got. Let's say that. But let's start with the Guerrilla Collective. So for you guys that don't know, Guerrilla Collective is pretty much, I call it an indie fest, because it's all about smaller studios, over 20 of them, that just showcased all of their indie games and everything. So it was a big list. I believe it was 3 days that of the Guerrilla Collective, which was incredible for the announcement. So if you guys are into indie games, and supporting these small studios and everything, I would say take a look into Guerrilla Collective. We'll have a little post in the description below, so that way you guys can look into it and see what the Guerrilla Collective was all about, because it was really interesting, and they announced a lot of games. A lot.
Yeah, it was kind of it was like Xbox ID Fest, but for 3 days.
Pretty much.
Which is cool, because there's some good games in there, but
yeah,
you have to sit through like hours and hours and hours and hours to maybe see 30 seconds of a possible game that might come up.
Literally, because it was a lot of information, especially on the games and everything.
Yeah.
But they announced, I don't even know. I want to say it was over 20, 30 games. Just on day 1 and 2. So a lot of information.
It's a lot.
Like I said, we'll have a link in the description, so that way you guys can get a little familiar with what Guerrilla Collective was. And get your information on it, because it was really good. But I would say one of the bigger announcements this week was Pokemon. The Pokemon Present was amazing. I love Pokemon. My co-host Nick doesn't. Is not so into Pokemon.
I want to get into it, but it's so hard.
But I love Pokemon. But the Pokemon Presents was amazing. We got a little bit more information before the expansion came out of Sword and Shield, what it was going to be about. But we finally got the Sword and Shield expansion, the Isle of Armor, which is amazing. I've been playing it. Finished the main story, per se, of the Isle of Armor. But now I'm working towards getting the whole Pokedex, obviously. That's all you got to do in Pokemon. And then, start the shiny hunting if you're into that. I'm not. I like the original colors. Surprise, surprise. Sorry, don't kill me for that. But yeah, it was pretty cool. The only complaint that I would have about it wasn't too long. I feel like we could have had a lot more on it. And the only thing that I'm gonna ask you, Nintendo and Game Freak, is why didn't you give me more new Pokemon? You give me a whole lot of old Pokemon to put into the game and everything, which is cool. I enjoy the older Pokemons, but I'm kind of a nerd when it comes to like the newer Pokemon. So yeah, we didn't get too much of that, unfortunately. Another thing in Pokemon Presents was Pokemon Smiles, which it's geared towards kids age 12 and under, if I'm not mistaken. But best believe this 29-year-old will be playing Pokemon Smile while I'm brushing my teeth, because I feel like it's a cool concept to get the kids to brush their teeth and make it interactive, make it fun.
So what is it, by the way? I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, so Pokemon Smiles is gonna be a game for kids. You can download it on your iOS or Android device, and it's gonna be pretty much to help them brush their teeth. That's all it is.
Really?
So what they do is they brush while they're brushing their teeth. They have a timer, obviously, so they can brush their teeth, thoroughly. And then at the end, if they did a good job, then they have the opportunity of catching the Pokemon that's on the screen. So you can have a Pokemon there like Pikachu or whatever, and then you get to catch the Pokemon after that. Okay. So it's something for them to look forward to, because then that way every time that they brush their teeth, they can go catch a Pokemon and then grow their party there, which is pretty cool in my opinion. So for kids, for any of you that have kids out there, if you have any problems with them brushing their teeth, I believe Pokemon Smiles is gonna be amazing.
I'm gonna have to get it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Right? But another Pokemon info was Pokemon Cafe Mix, which is gonna be free to start. It's gonna be on the Switch and on your mobile device, if I'm not mistaken. But it's gonna be kind of like you build your cafe that Pokemon come to, and then you have a little game there that you play with the face of the Pokemons. You collect all the faces, kind of like I want to say like kind of like Bejeweled type deal game. So pretty interesting idea when it comes to like the Pokemon fandom. So I think Pokemon Cafe is gonna be just something cool to just get into it, I would say. But yeah, it's
very different.
It's gonna be very different from the original like Pokemon style play. But the big news that I know everybody saw, and we've been waiting for over 20 years, was Pokemon Snap. I know everybody's been waiting on Pokemon Snap. I personally didn't enjoy the original too much, but you best believe that I will be playing the new one. I guess it was because I was way too young. Like I said, it's been over 20 years that we've been waiting for it. So I will be playing the new one very much when it comes out. But Pokemon Snap has been in development for a while. We finally got the news that we're getting the new one. We didn't get an exact date on it or anything like that, but excited about Pokemon Snap. I don't know if you ever even heard of Pokemon Snap before.
I've heard of it, but I haven't seen anything for it previously until I hopped on YouTube, of course, and saw like a few trailers, and I was like, wow, this game looks prettier than any other Pokemon previously, which is
crazy,
mind-boggling.
Why don't they put those graphics into the core Pokemon
in like
game?
Sword and Shield or something?
Come
like
on,
that,
man, that would be incredible.
Oh man.
But Pokemon Snap, I think it's one of the big things to look forward to. But what was one of the news that you look forward to? Because I know you got a lot of news and everything that you're excited about.
Oh man,
I'm done rambling about Pokemon because I'm a big Pokemon fan. I've always been a Pokemon fan, and I think I will be a Pokemon fan until I die. But yeah, let Nick talk about the things that he's excited, because there was a lot of news that came through.
So, I mean, for things that I feel like I'm personally excited for, definitely the Apex event that they announced, having a new collection event. And besides that, they announced that it's crossplay and coming to the Switch later this year.
It's going to be incredible. Crossplay and a new event.
That's going to be wild. Of course, that's later in the fall, but we do get the new event next week, which is going to be nice for people to come back into. That always brings back people into the game. So I want to see how that gets kind of interpreted, all the new events that they're going to do, the skins, everything else, and see how the town takeover is going to look like.
Yeah, Apex, it's one of those games that we have put so many hours into it. Both me and Nick. And everybody that we play with knows that we are very
passionate.
Very passionate, yeah, to say the least, about Apex. But Apex bringing the new event, I think is gonna be one of the better things that they're gonna do. They announced a lot of stuff for it, which is gonna be really cool. If you guys watch the trailer, which we might link up, you're gonna see a little bit of Lifeline switch, maybe. Mm-hmm. We'll see when it happens on Tuesday. We saw a bunch of new skins, which is going to be incredible. A little bit of a change in the map, adding a new section of it for crypto, because I guess it's focused on crypto. So yeah, I mean, that's going to be incredible.
It's going to be fantastic. And I mean, honestly, I keep talking about like Respawn as a dev, just because every time they release a trailer for something, there's always something that you look into and you're like, oh, they're changing something. Like every time you see an Apex trailer, they always add a new element to the game, which I feel like is fantastic. Or like portable respawn beacons.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
that's gonna be really cool.
Why didn't we mention that? Portable respawn beacon. That's crazy. So there's not gonna be any respawn beacons in the map. We're gonna have a respawn beacon that we can carry with us and spawn our teammate whenever we want, wherever we want.
I think that's needed. Because there's a lot of like camper mentality. You see it and just, I mean, everyone does it.
What is freaking Apex known for? The third party game.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's
or quadruple parties, or 6, whatever it ends up being.
It's crazy, but I'm very excited about that.
Yeah, that's gonna be good. Besides that, I mean, they announced Skate. I guess. It's been, I don't know how many years it's been, but it's been way too long in my opinion. I'm not really interested.
Let's say they didn't announce Skate, they just mentioned Skate.
You're right.
Because we really don't know anything about it.
Yeah, they said it's in development.
Yeah.
That's kind of like what they said with Kingdom Hearts 3. and then when did it come out?
Yeah.
Last year?
So when are we getting Skate?
2024.
Who knows? But you guys can be excited about Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
Yeah.
You know, if you
that's
like
a few
skating
months
games,
away.
I mean, Pro Skater is all you need. Who? Like, we didn't know about Skate back then. Come on, Pro Skater is where we really need to be.
Yeah, and it's remastered, and I feel like it's gonna play better. Obviously, it's gonna play better. I mean, maybe they might do something with Skate that may make me, shut up and just take my words out of my mouth.
We don't know.
We'll have to see about that.
I guess they're waiting until Pro Skater comes out.
Yeah, probably.
We'll see about that.
They're gonna let you drive cars or something like that.
Yeah, I don't want that.
So besides that, they also showed a little bit at the end. They showed like a little bit of like next gen possibilities that they had going on, and those little snippets made me excited.
Yeah,
little snippets, very tiny.
Little snips of what's to come.
Yeah, the fact that there's a lot of hardware behind that. There's a lot of like post processing and a bunch of other stuff that they're gonna do. Definitely, I think the little snippet that stands out the most to me was like the little open world part that they had going on, where they had pretty much like this character just flying around, and he, it looked like he had a gun, like he was propelling himself. And I could only imagine that kind of gives me a little bit of like Beyond. There was another game that they announced that we still haven't seen. I think it was Beyond Light or something like that. It's a really old game, but they said they're bringing out a new one. They announced it like 3 years ago, and we still haven't seen it to this day. So I feel like it's gonna be along the same lines of that.
I mean, they're focusing on that on the next gen. So who knows? We know the next gen is coming by holiday of this year, but who knows when these games are gonna be coming out? Which I guess we'll wait, because at the end of the day, it's gonna be amazing. With the new console and everything, so we're gonna have a lot of announcements and everything on that.
It's gonna be great. But I mean, real quick, because you said something, and I immediately made me pop at something. You said, end the year. That's where we're getting Cyberpunk now. So that's not coming out in September anymore. It's coming out in November.
Yeah. So unfortunately, we got a lot of good news, but we did have a bad news with Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk 2077 now is gonna be November 19th of this year, rather than in September that we were expecting it. So, I mean, what do you guys think? Are you guys planning on getting it on the new gen, on the current gen? Because me personally, I was gonna get it on the current gen, because they did say that it was they were gonna give it to you for free on the next gen. But what's the point now?
Yeah.
You know, what's the point of getting it on the current gen if I'm probably gonna get rid of the current gen when the new gen comes out?
And Xbox has smart delivery.
Yeah, no, exactly. So like,
what's the point?
what's the point of me just getting it on the current gen when the next gen? It's probably gonna be around that date. November 19th is when Cyberpunk comes out. Probably we're getting the next gen consoles then. So who knows? We'll see.
I honestly feel like that was a really good, like, in my opinion, I feel like it's a good call because of the fact that it's better to launch it around the time of the new consoles because yes, you get to do some extra work on the game, but you also get to launch it around the time the game actually releases or the console's released. So you kind of have a little bit of, hey, Cyberpunk, new console, and then you get to implement whatever they wanted to that.
It's like when you're looking for a new console, now you're gonna be looking forward for a new game. And get Cyberpunk to get the whole feel of the new consoles and everything with it. I feel like overall, I mean, CD Projekt Red, they are a really smart company. They care about the community. I feel like that studio does it because they care. It's not because they wanna delay the game. I feel like they're doing it because they actually do care. I mean, they've done great things with The Witcher 3, which is one of my favorite games of all time. With a bunch of their different games, but see, I think Cyberpunk it was a good call because if they feel like it's not ready, let's just hold it out so that way we get a little bit more work on Cyberpunk, and then when the new consoles, like Nick said, when the new consoles come out, that way you have something already to look forward to on getting with the new console.
Speaking of that, because I like to say things before I forget them, of course. I saw that there was 2 possible leaks for the price points apparently, and one of them was apparently pretty close.
It does, yeah.
The Series X, they're saying it might be $399. That would be.
But how do you feel about it?
Crazy.
How do you feel about it being $399? Do you think it's real? Because I mean, I feel, and this might be a personal opinion because of the research that I've done. I feel like the Xbox is slightly stronger than the PlayStation when it comes to like the hardware that it has.
Of course.
But when it comes to the leaks showed that the PlayStation is going to be $500 for the disc one, and then $400 for the one that's not. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, honestly, I kind of feel like it's possible for the Xbox. I do. I think it's possible. I don't know how plausible it's gonna be. I don't know how it's gonna look in reality. But if you also think about it, the fact that they had the 1S and then they had the X and they had all that stuff, and they were selling them like crazy at the time. I feel like if they launch it at $399. It's already kind of like a win.
It's a sale right there.
Yeah, like, and everybody, it's gonna be sold out within the first couple days. Like,
in my opinion, for $399 and you get the disc also, that's a sale right there because the PlayStation, if it comes up to $499 for the disc one, then that's gonna be a little bit over the Xbox Series X. But I mean, I guess we'll see because it's not technically confirmed, but there's certain leaks that you can actually trust and not trust. But
I definitely feel like the PlayStation one's a little bit more accurate.
Yeah. I feel like the PlayStation it's there on the money. I feel like 500 and 400 is the actual price point.
It's very realistic.
Yeah, it's definitely realistic.
Very realistic.
And like I said last week, I feel like I would be getting the digital only of the PlayStation. So 400, I feel like it's a pretty good deal for the hardware that it has inside. So. We'll see. I mean, I guess we'll see when it comes to that.
I don't know, man. I've grown up in having to go through hurricanes and stuff like that, so I'm very used to not having internet when it came to that. So I got really spoiled by having like a disc or something like that because it was always a just in case type of situation, or you never know. You might not have internet for a reason. So I kind of feel like that might be the better bet.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of pros and cons, I guess, when it comes to like having a disc or all digital. I just like the convenience of it.
Yeah.
Not having a bunch of discs everywhere. I just like accessing everything from the console itself, and I'm done with it.
Yep.
Getting an external hard drive, and I'll be all set. I think that'll be the way to go. But I guess we'll see. Yeah. Whenever they actually announce it, we need a date. We need a confirmation on the price point. We'll see.
There is an Xbox event in July.
Yeah.
That is confirmed. We don't know when, but when it happens.
I'm sure
excited.
I'm pretty sure we're gonna get everything done.
Yeah, because I mean, I feel like they might. I'm hoping. I say I feel like because I like to be a pretty positive person.
Yeah.
But like I want them to just like do a little bit of what PlayStation did, but kind of just like slug out, just like literally game after game after game after game.
Just announce everything because a lot of people are saying that PlayStation went wild. We got a lot of feedback on PlayStation getting wild with their announcements and everything. But Xbox does have a lot of games in their belt. Everybody only thinks of Forza or Halo, which they're the big ones when it comes to Xbox. Yeah, Gears. But they do have a lot of games coming out to the Series X, and I feel like people will be surprised when it comes to games like that.
Yep.
And Xbox Game Studios is gonna do a really good job when it comes to that. Just like PlayStation Game Studios is doing with their exclusives also.
I just realized they both have game studios in their name.
Yeah, they do have game studios.
It's kind of
it's pretty cool.
Little hint. But man, for EA Play, there's one other game that I feel like was probably the best thing to me, and it was not Star Wars. It was Rocket Arena. I felt like that looked really cool.
Rocket Arena
looked fun.
Awesome. It's a 3v3, rockets only. First person or third person?
Third person, 5v5s. Yeah. No, 3v3s. 3v3s.
Yeah.
5v5 is the other game.
Yeah, 3v3 rocket game is the best way to describe it.
Rocket hero shooter?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
But every character has a different ability. Every character has a different gun. It's rockets only, which is pretty cool. So I feel like if you guys didn't catch that, I would say look at the trailer on that. We might post a link on it too. But Rocket Arena, I feel like it was a really, really cool concept. And it's just a really cool game to just get with friends and then, play together. I feel like Rocket Arena is going to do well on that.
I feel like, it comes out in less than a month, which is crazy. Absolutely nuts that they hate.
I did not expect that.
Yeah, I figured it would have been end of the year, beginning of next year. Be like, yeah, by the way, it comes out in like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like...
I did not expect them for them to announce it so quick. Just in a week or not a week, a month. So
yeah, that's going to be...
That's wild.
And crossplay. Again, crossplay is... Yes. It's the way of the future, man. If you're not doing crossplay on anything, what's the point at this rate? Like, it's just... You just can't... You can't win.
There's so many gamers out there, and it's good to bring us all together. So, I guess with the next thing that EA showed, which, I know a lot of people are excited about, it's Star Wars Squadron, which is a 5v5, I guess, flight shooter. How would you describe it?
Yeah. I can't make up a word.
Yeah, I guess it's a flight shooter. Of course, Star Wars in the Star Wars world. Thank you, Lucas. But we get 5 different classes of ships, and then we go head to head on a 5v5. Either they call it dog battle or something like
Dogfights.
that. Dogfights. There you go. Yeah. So they call it dogfights. So we go head to head 5v5, and then just eliminate the opposing team. And then they go with the bigger game mode.
Fleet battles.
Fleet battles, which is pretty much kind of like the same idea, but then you have the big tankers, or you actually progress through the.
It's kind of like Battlefield.
Conquest. Yeah, it's kind of like Conquest in Battlefield.
Yeah.
Where you go through the map, doing different missions throughout and everything, which is pretty cool. I feel like for Star Wars fans, if you guys enjoyed, because they kind of talked about it in the presentation. They said a little bit of if you guys enjoyed the flying in Star Wars Battlefront, I feel like that would be the game for you. Me personally, I'm horrendous at flying when it comes to Battlefield, Star Wars. I'm just terrible at that. I have one friend that he is incredible in the flying simulator.
It's nauseating too.
It is definitely.
Nauseating.
But when it comes to that, I feel like I couldn't do it. But I know for Star Wars fans out there that do enjoy that part of the game, I feel like that would be the game for you because they did show a lot of it. We might post a description also for it.
Always check the description box. Everything will be in there.
Definitely. But when it comes to the gameplay of it, I feel like it's gonna be really cool. I would love to try it. I know I'm gonna be terrible at it. I probably will still pick it up because I'm just hard-headed when it comes to that, and I love the Star Wars genre. But I feel like it's gonna be a really, really cool idea.
I feel like it's gonna be fun, simply because of the fact that, honestly, they seem more passionate about this than they did Battlefront, which is kind of like it makes me sad, but it is what it is.
I know, and I like Battlefront.
Yeah.
Let me rephrase that. I wanted to like Battlefront.
Yeah. I wanted it to be good. It got better over time.
It did.
It took like a year and some change to get there.
But it's one of those things that it's a little too late.
It's a No Man's Sky syndrome.
Yeah.
Just like every other game it's following that No Man's Sky.
It's the ambition. It's the ambition that you want the game to be as good as they show it, but when it comes out, it's not, and then they take forever to actually work on the game. And when it's finally good, nobody's playing it. So that's where we are, unfortunately. But yeah, EA also showed one great thing for games overall.
Oh yes.
With Origins.
Some Origin games are coming to Steam now, which is fantastic. Just because I mean, you just don't got to download Steam. I mean, or Origin, I guess. I mean, I don't have a problem with Origin personally. I know there's just some people are like, why would I get this, and Epic Game Launcher at the same time? It makes sense. Why not have all your games in the same library? Yeah. So they're bringing some. I think it was like 5 games. 3 of them is today. Titanfall 2 and there's 2 others.
Yeah.
Titanfall 2 to me is pretty much the only game that I would even I would consider on that list that most people would get, especially because it's cheap. So, I mean, that's fantastic news. A lot of people are happy about that. Again, do not want to use the Origin system. You get some games there for you, and then that's going to be going throughout the year, and that's also going to be crossplay from Apex, from Steam.
It's going to be great. So we're finally going to be able to connect with Steam players, and I feel like that's a smart move from EA, rather than just keeping everything on the Origin account. Like you said, a lot of people don't want to have so many different systems just to download games into their PC. I feel like having it on Steam is a very smart idea.
Yeah.
So it's smart to do it when with the games that already are out and certain games that are going to be coming out later on, like Rocket Arena that we mentioned.
Yes. So and that's Xbox, PlayStation, and PC. So and crossplay on all 3 of those. So again, it's just like this system of everyone's trying to get in on this little bandwagon and they're trying to ride it off for the rest of the year. Because I imagine when next gen comes up and the consoles just launch, all these games are going to pop into those consoles and it's going to be the same thing over again.
Yeah. No, for me, it's the way of the future. They have to do crossplay for, let's say, all the games that come out for multiplayer, because it's a way to connect everybody. Maybe it'll ease up on the console wars. Probably not. We'll talk about console wars on one episode, but
one day.
But yeah, I feel like it's gonna be a very good idea for doing crossplay on multiple games that are coming out, especially with the new consoles in the horizon. So I feel like it's gonna be good. But
I'm excited.
One game that I did want to mention, which it was very quick, very small. It's called Endeavor RX, which is it's a mobile game, but it is the first video game ever that could actually be prescribed by doctors for children under the age of 12, if I'm not mistaken. You can correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I believe it's kids under the age of 12 to actually battle symptoms of ADHD. So I feel like that is an amazing...
It's huge.
Yeah, that's an amazing thing that now video games, we got to a point that, people were saying that gaming, or they call it the video game syndrome, could actually go into mental illness. A lot of people were blaming video games for hostile behavior and everything. But a lot of doctors and everything have done research that it's actually not like that. Video games can actually be good for the mind. And now having Endeavor RX, the first video game ever that could actually be prescribed by doctors to battle symptoms of ADHD, I feel like that is huge.
Yeah. Now the only thing, but besides the fact that that's a huge step, in my opinion, in the right direction, I feel like that's going to be very helpful to some people that actually get their hands on it. I just wonder how that's going to be, and I guess in a more like realistic approach, how that's going to go about.
Yeah.
I wonder how and where and how often or how widespread this is going to get. This, could take a couple months, could take a year or two, but I feel like with the whole situation going on right now with COVID and everything, I still feel like it's going to be a work in progress. But the places that it is available in, it'll probably pop off. It'll probably be really good there.
I think so, and I feel like it's going to be one of those big things now, because we are, let's say in the future, with a lot of technology that surrounds us, everybody has a phone or a tablet or some sort of device that they can download games. And if you have any children under that age, I feel like it's going to be good if they're suffering from ADHD or anything like that. So I feel like Endeavor RX, it's one of the great things that they're doing now. So I would just look into that. We'll post a description in the link in the description below. But yeah, I feel like that's was one of the big announcements this week. Having that video game there.
Yeah. But I definitely feel like that helps out a lot, just because of the fact that someone like myself, I spent a lot of time playing games, like when I was younger, to battle against certain tendencies that I had, I guess, speaking inner-wise, and that just kind of led me off into where I'm at now at this point, where I pretty much just go through all these games, not just for fun of it, but also because, it keeps you busy.
Of course.
Keeps you busy, and it's entertainment.
Video games are a way to escape the reality of what we're living in, because it is tough times that we're living in, but video games is one way to keep us connected and together. That's what I always say when it comes to that. But we're gonna leave it off there. One thing that I did want to mention, because we did not talk about The Last of Us.
Oh boy.
Last of Us 2. It's gonna be a big topic. We're gonna leave it off for next week, so that way everybody gets their hands on it and plays a little bit more. Me and Nick also. I wanna beat the game, and I'm gonna run through that game. But I'm gonna enjoy it because it is my second favorite game of all time, next to Resident Evil, and I feel like it's gonna be a big topic when it comes out.
I feel like for anyone watching this ahead of time or anything like that, definitely do it. If you are gonna get the game or you are playing it on launch as of tomorrow, do a media blackout. Just block off The Last of Us Part 2 or Last of Us or anything. Just block off like main character names on Twitter, whatever you may use, because it's just one of those games that people are just gonna post everything everywhere. They don't care.
Agree. Yeah.
I already started seeing some stuff on YouTube
today. We've been
today.
waiting 7 years for it, so I'm pretty sure we're gonna get spoilers. So like Nick said, media blackout is gonna be definitely a way to keep your spoilers off and everything. But we want to leave it there. We want to appreciate. We want to thank everybody. We appreciate all the support and everything that you guys are showing towards the channel and towards what we're doing. It's just really two good friends trying to do what we love, talk about what we like, and we're just gonna keep you informed. If you have any questions or anything like that, follow our social media. Pass the Joysticks on Instagram. Pass the Joysticks on Twitter.
Twitter Joystick Pass.
Joystick Pass. Yeah, it's kind of weird, but follow us there. Talk in the comments also, so that way we can get your questions. We want to answer all the questions that you have. And then we're also going to be doing some giveaways soon, so keep that in mind. Just thank you for everything. We hope to see you in the next episode. All right?
And if anything, if you want to check for any more information, if you want any more follow-ups and details, always check the description. All the links for everything are going to be posted down there. Maybe some also extra stuff for like Gorilla and stuff like that, just in case you want to delve more into the games there.
All right, guys. And thank you for everything. And remember, always pass the joystick. Thank you.